evening, everyone. This really is an aspect of taking refuge in the Sangha. Sitting together is it's such a blessing to be able to sit together in silence and wholehearted pondering, wholehearted whatever happens in the mind. We are all embodied together in this practice, in our Zendo. So I want to welcome everybody to the October 2022 Fusatsu ceremony. It's a ceremony we're going to be doing each quarter. In a monastery, they do it every month. The word Fusatsu means to continue good practice. And we do this to keep us fresh and current in our commitment to this practice, to continue to deepen and hold steady and investigate this mind and this heart, which is all that we have, that we bring into the life, and all that we have in order to be to function as bodhisattvas in the world, which is to use all of our energies and all of our ideas and our emotions and our skills to serve, to benefit. Whatever they are, whatever our talents are, bring to benefit. Whatever our troubles are, see into them deeply so that we can turn them into some wisdom that then is the basis for beneficial action. That's what we're all about. So Fusatsu is a reinvigorating of this commitment. It's a ceremony of atonement and renewal of vows. Even before you've taken formal vows, the entirety of our practice is based on the great vow to awaken. We pause together at the time of the full moon and take a ceremonial moment. We do this ceremonially to say, this is very central to the practice, to my commitment, to being a mature, caring, and wise human being. So in the constant activities of life, we stop and we commit to loosen and resolve our karmic patterns, to see into our habits that restrict our ability to be ourselves, to be whole, complete, and to really function in the world. And to take responsibility for our actions and any consequences that they have, even though we can't know the consequences of our actions, but we can really take such care with them, knowing that every action has consequences. And we always say actions of our body, anything we do with our body, anything we say, body, speech, and mind, our thoughts. So the more we become aware, that's all we've got when we're sitting in Zazen. We really get a look at our thought stream, which is so important. Not to evaluate, but to see what it is and what it elicits in us, what it prompts. We atone in this ceremony for any harm that we've brought to ourselves and to others. And in doing this, we re-enliven our bodhisattva vow to awaken for the sake of all beings. Atonement. This atonement chant, which we'll be doing together in a moment, is it's so potent. And once you learn it, you can use it whenever you need to. Whenever you've done something that leaves you feeling a little uncomfortable and worried, you can bring up the atonement chant, which is like affirming that I'm going to learn to do it better next time, whatever it is that doesn't feel quite right on. So atonement. atonement, at-one-ment, is to realize non-killing and to manifest our refuge in the three treasures of Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. As we proceed through the chanting service, these are set out more fully. Refuge is something that we take every moment. We can take every moment when we remember the refuge. We can take it every moment by remembering our commitment, our aspiration, and the practice of attention and kindness. A day spent in this kind of remembering is a day well spent, and it's a day of ease. No matter what difficulties we have, if we remember our commitment to this, it really helps. It's really supporting. So this is refuge. Atonement begins by considering our past deeds of body, speech, and mind that have harmed others and ourselves. The way we've broken the world in two. The ways that we break the concepts, or the precepts, break the concepts. The ways that we break the precepts with our concepts. We break the world in two when I am apart from the world out there. And when we become at one with all beings, when we become at one with our karma, our conditioning, backwards and forwards in time, we express the compassionate heart that accepts and forgives all that makes up this life. Accepting and forgiving everything that makes up, everything that comes our way. There are great difficulties for all of us in our own times. That's part of life being life. So when we can relax enough to open up and not fear and close down and push against, we begin to experience a kind of ease that is a very thorough blessing. And we immediately step together with all beings beyond duality, good and evil, gain and loss, right and wrong, beyond separation. From the very beginning, there's perfect acceptance. And that phrase, from the very beginning, everything is all right. We hear that a lot in Zen. And it's such a profound thing to say, because when we look back in our lives and all the difficulties we've had, to be able to look back and say, everything has always been all right, because here we are. Here we are. Everything has led us to this way of being awake and caring and responsible. And in Sangha, community with all of life. From the very beginning, there's perfect acceptance. By manifesting at oneness, Buddha's forgiveness. So atonement is Buddha's forgiveness. It's calling on the forgiveness of Buddha, the heart of Buddha. We extend this compassion towards everyone we meet. When we know it for ourselves, it is available to offer freely. In order to realize this, our atonement must be genuine, recalling what we regret and sincerely, wholeheartedly committing to resolve the harm done. Bearing witness to our lives as they are, we open to what is most intimate. What do you know for yourself of intimacy? What is the direct experience of intimacy? It's drenched in oneness. Just think of a moment where you're just kind of bowled over by anything. It can be a moment with another person, with your dog, with a bird, with the breeze or the turning leaves or anything. A favorite cup, that you rinse after scrubbing it. Those moments of intimacy where everything is at one. With intimacy as our touchstone, we become more aware in our daily life and conscious of how the bodhisattva precepts function. This is how the karmic burden of our past loosens and dissolves. By fully accepting how we've behaved in ways that we regret, we become a just witness to our life, not with contempt, but with kindness. So tonight, in the ceremony, we renew our vows to awaken, honoring the precepts that show us the liberating path that we can always refer to precepts to help us when we're not quite sure how to respond. And we're entrusting ourselves to the three treasures and opening our hearts, making space for any deeds that weigh heavily. And together we renew our commitment to practice for the benefit of all beings, including ourselves. So we, as the Sangha, we do this together. So if you will please rise. We're going to do 9 vows. And 3 sets of 3. So the first set is bowing to Buddha. Bowing to Dharma. And bowing to Sangha. And now if you pick up your chant books, we're going to be chanting, facing the altar, Gata of Atonement. Gata of Atonement. All harmful actions ever committed by me since the greed, anger, and ignorance. And now I'm going to do the clackers and recite a line, and you will repeat it after me. Being one with the past 7 Buddhas.
Being one with the past 7 Buddhas.
Being one with Shakyamuni Buddha.
Being one with Shakyamuni Buddha.
Being one with Manjushri Bodhisattva.
Being one with Manjushri Bodhisattva.
Being one with Samantabhadra Bodhisattva.
Being one with Samantabhadra Bodhisattva.
Being one with Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva.
Being one with Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva.
Being one with Maitreya Buddha.
Being one with Maitreya Buddha.
Being one with the successive ancestors.
Being one with the successive ancestors.
I take refuge in Buddha.
I take refuge in Buddha.
And then I will follow up with a statement. You don't repeat it. May all beings embody the great way, resolving to awaken. I take refuge in Dharma.
I take refuge in Dharma.
May all beings deeply enter the sutras, wisdom like an ocean. I take refuge in Dharma.
I take refuge in Dharma.
May all beings deeply enter the sutras, wisdom like an ocean. I take refuge in Sangha.
I take refuge in Sangha.
May all beings support harmony everywhere, free from every hindrance. And now we will recite the 3 pure precepts, so you'll repeat it after me. I vow to cease from harmful action and release all self-attachment.
I vow to cease from harmful actions
and release all self-attachment. This is the house of all the ways of Buddha. This is the source of all the laws of Buddhahood. I vow to do only good and take selfless action.
I vow to do only good and take selfless actions.
The Dharma of the Samyak Sambodhi, attainment of supreme Buddhahood, is the Dharma of all existence, never apart from the present moment. I vow to do good for others, embracing all things and conditions.
I vow to do good for others, embracing all things and conditions.
Leap beyond the holy and the unholy. Let us rescue ourselves together with all beings. And now the 10 grave precepts. I vow not to kill, but instead to cultivate, encourage, and cherish all life.
I vow not to kill, but instead to cultivate, encourage, and cherish all life.
And we'll divide this into 2 sections. I vow not to steal, but instead to receive what is offered.
I vow not to steal, but instead to receive what is offered.
I vow to be satisfied with what I have. The gateway to enlightenment stands wide open.
I vow to be satisfied with what I have. The gateway to enlightenment stands wide open.
I vow not to misuse sexuality, but instead to remain faithful in relationships.
I vow not to misuse sexuality, but instead to remain faithful in relationships.
I vow to encounter all creations with respect and dignity.
I vow to encounter all creations with respect and dignity.
I vow not to speak dishonestly, but instead to communicate truthfully.
I vow not to speak dishonestly, but instead to communicate truthfully.
I vow to listen and speak from the heart.
I vow to listen and speak from the heart.
I vow not to become intoxicated, but instead to cultivate a mind that sees clearly.
I vow not to become intoxicated, but instead to cultivate a mind that sees clearly.
And then this is a long one, so we'll break it up into two. I vow not to dwell on past mistakes, but instead to create wisdom from ignorance.
I vow not to dwell on past mistakes, but instead to create wisdom from ignorance.
I vow not to speak of others' faults and errors, but to accept what each moment has to offer.
I vow not to speak of others' faults and errors, but instead
Each moment has to offer. I vow not to engage in fault-finding or to condone haphazard talk.
I vow not to engage in fault-finding or to condone haphazard talk.
In other words, gossip. I vow not to elevate myself or put others down, but instead to maintain modesty and commend virtue. I vow not to elevate myself or put others down, but instead to maintain modesty and commend virtue. I vow not to be stingy with dharma or wealth, but instead to share understanding and give freely of self.
I vow not to be stingy with dharma or wealth,
but instead to share understanding and give freely of self. I vow not to indulge anger, but instead to cultivate equanimity and look deeply into the source. I vow not to indulge anger, but instead to cultivate equanimity and look deeply into the source. I vow not to speak ill of the three treasures, but to honor them as an instrument of peacemaking.
I vow not to speak ill of the three treasures, but to honor them as instruments of peacemaking.
But to honor them as an instrument of peacemaking.
But to honor them as an instrument of peacemaking.
That's a powerful vow, huh? In the realm of the One, holding to no concept of ordinary beings and sages, is the precept of not defaming the three treasures. So let's take that one half at a time. In the realm of the One, holding no concept of ordinary beings and sages,
holding no concept of ordinary beings and sages,
is the precept of not defaming the three treasures.
Is the precept of not defaming the three treasures.
So the commentary on that is that to do something by ourselves without copying others is to become an example to the world, and the merit of this becomes the source of all wisdom. To do something by ourselves without copying others. So that says, realizing the Dharma in our own hearts, really opening the Dharma eye fully, and then we know how to truly live our particular life. So, repeat after me. Criticize nothing.
Criticize nothing.
Except the openness of all forms.
Except the openness of all forms.
Respect the Buddha.
Respect the Buddha.
Unfold the Dharma.
Unfold the Dharma.
Nourish the Sangha.
Nourish the Sangha.
May these vows be alive in us, just as a drop of water falling in a pool ripples out. May our vows radiate throughout our lives, helping everyone. May all beings, great and small, wise or deluded, cloudy or clear-eyed, rouse the aspiration to know and embody the deepest truths for the sake of all beings. Thus is this full moon gathering. We offer the merit of the Bodhisattva way through all the world systems to the unborn nature of all being. And now they will chant the universal dedication, which is on page
28.
All